Hey everybody, Yolanda here with my husband Bradley. And if you're looking for a really awesome YouTube video with like graphics and music and stuff, this is not it. But what it is we're sharing a story that we wanted to share with y'all about something unexpected that happened in our lives last year. And we wanted to share it because many people have things that they don't expect and all of a sudden it happens. And at that time, it looks like you might not overcome those obstacles, but sorry guys, I'm gonna fix my collar there. But you really can get through it. And so we just wanted to share the story. You want to start? You want me to start?
You start.
All right. So last April 2019, Bradley had to have emergency heart surgery. It was totally out of the blue. We were not expecting it. Before this all went down, he was not seeing a cardiologist at all. And what started it was our concerns for it was when his chest would tight when we would go to the gym and work out. And over like 6 weeks, it continued like doing tight and it continued having tingling sensations. And so
In my left arm.
yeah, in his left arm. And so we decided that we needed to see a doctor about it. So he went to his primary care physician and had explained what was going on. And even though his primary care couldn't hear anything, he like took the stethoscope and he went and heard something. He couldn't hear anything. He was like, we'll still send you to the cardiologist.
It was a stress test. They did a stress test first, and they saw something. Well, let me backtrack. They did a stress test that morning on a Friday. And that Friday afternoon, they called me and said they seen something that they didn't recognize or they didn't know what it was. And they wanted to bring me in on Wednesday, the following Wednesday, to do a heart catheter. Just to see what was going on. They didn't know if it was blockages or if it was just something with the dyes or what it was. So I went in on Wednesday, April the 3rd, right?
Yeah, so it was April the 3rd.
April the 3rd, to have a routine heart catheter with the possibility of probably having a stent put in. That was it.
Yeah, an in and out surgery. We'd be out within 24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours at the most. I mean, they said I'd be in and out quick and I would be going home. That wasn't the case. When they got in there, they saw extreme blockages. Those of you that are familiar with the heart or know, you've all heard the term the widowmaker, which is your main artery in your heart. And it was clogged, 100%?
It's clogged 100%.
100%. I had two other clogs that were 100%, had some that were 70, some that were 40. I had just a number of different things going on, and they pulled the heart catheter back out. They did everything. They didn't put stent in. I was actually in and out during this surgery, during this procedure, and the doctor, the cardiologist at the time, he patted me on the head and said, "You're going to have open heart surgery soon." And I just thought, okay. I was still kind of drugged up and I didn't know what was going on. And so when I rolled back into the room, I looked at Yolanda and I told her, I'm having open heart surgery, possibly tomorrow. And she told me just to be quiet. That was the drugs talking.
I did. I was like, that's just the drugs talking. You're not having open heart surgery.
And I conked out. I just didn't. The drugs were still in me. And the doctor came and got Yolanda and showed her not a visual of like a drawing.
Yeah, it was a drawing of a heart and he drew in all the blockages that Bradley had. And even like, it was so crazy that one of the blockages, the one in his widowmaker, was there for so long that the heart tried to do a natural bypass and it was failing at it, but it had one and grew like a bypass around the blockage. Unfortunately, it wasn't successful, so blood was not going through like it should in that bypass.
And so Dr. Pataniak, the cardiologist that I saw, he told Yolanda that he was going to get in touch with Dr. Turner?
Dr. Turner.
Dr. Turner, who is one of the world's most renowned heart surgeons who actually is here in Tyler, and he would do this open heart surgery on me. Most of it was genetics that caused the blockages. And so they get that. We tried to get the surgery to be pushed off to summer since we both work in school, and that way I would have the summer to recuperate and I can get back to work, without missing any downtime. And Dr. Turner told Yolanda that I wouldn't make it to June.
Yeah. Like, I tried everything I could to postpone it to when school was out. For several reasons. One, because it was like 8 weeks of school left, and two, for financial aspects of it. Like, he needed to finish out his contract in order to be paid through until the next contract started. And Dr. Turner was like, he might not even make it till June, like 8 weeks away. Like, he might not even make that with the frequency of the mini heart attacks that he was having. And that's how he was classified, as mini heart attacks. And with those blockages that they had saw and stuff, he was like, he's not leaving the hospital without the surgery.
So they did the next morning. I'd had triple bypass at that time, and I had 28 staples in my chest, sewed up the wound. 2 sutures. I had tubes in me to help pull excess blood and whatever else out. I spent roughly about 6 weeks stuck here at the house, not able to work, not able to do anything really.
Yeah, he was in the hospital or rehab for 2 weeks, and then roughly 6 weeks here at the house, not being able to do anything until he was released.
Yeah.
And then the last part of May, he was able to go back to school with restrictions, and he was able to go for
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. They had 2 weeks of school left at in his district for that. And then in June of last year, he got cleared. Like, everything was great and it was phenomenal. And because of him being on contract and had to be out of work so much, his paycheck every month dwindled a lot. But we were able to make it. Like, we were like, okay, we can do this. No problem. We can definitely get through all this hardship. And July 4th comes, and he had what we thought was the flu, like the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of July. And on the 4th of July, I was like, I'm taking you into the hospital because by now you should be at least overcoming it, or we need to get some help. And so I took him actually into it's called Hospitality ER. It's like a independent ER. And I took him in there, and we had told him about, previously had heart surgery, but we think it's the flu and all this stuff. And they checked his heart, and it found out that he was actually having a heart attack. And they started educating us about how a heart attack's not just tight chest and tingling arms, and your chest hurts super bad. There's different types of heart attacks. And the doctor came in and said that he needs to be rushed to the hospital. We need to get a hold of his cardiologist to find out what is going on, and that they were not going to release him until the cardiologist saw him. So we had to take him from this independent ER all the way back to the hospital on July 4th, and get into the emergency room, where they had to rush him into the cath lab again to do a cath to find out what was going on with his heart and why he was having a heart attack then.
And then they said that what happened was one of my bypasses had failed, and they could easily fix it. The cardiologist on duty at that time said that he could easily fix it with a stent. And so I had to wait a few weeks to get the stent after that, because of all the dyes and everything was playing havoc on my kidneys. And
his kidneys shut down during all of this.
And so they wanted to make sure my kidneys were fully functioning, or at a functioning level. And the doctor, when at the end of July, 1st of August, cleared me because of all the blood work and stuff with my kidneys. He said, I'll go ahead and do the stent. And I was in the hospital for 24 hours. That was it. And they did that, and I went back to work, I think it was 3 days later.
Yep, 3 days later he went back to work, was able to start the school year off. And since then, we've had some really great reports for his heart. Everything's healing great. And we've definitely been taking care of ourselves and getting healthier through like my weight loss journey. And that you'll see some videos up on the YouTube, or if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see my journey, as well as like through this whole heart surgery and the stories that we tell about just the obstacles that we've overcome. But we wanted to share the story of it because that was 6 months of literally of uncertainty, of financial stress, of like learning, like crash course learning of medical things and stuff. And so we wanted to share the story with you guys to hopefully encourage you all that if you are facing a difficulty that has came up that you were not expecting at all, whether it's just a flat tire, or if you guys have lost your jobs right now, we're in the middle of COVID-19, and a lot of people are stressing about finances by losing their jobs and being furloughed, or major surgery or anything. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. It may not happen within a day. It may not happen in a week. It may happen within a year, or a couple of years, because Bradley technically isn't fully healed until the 2-year mark from his first heart surgery. But we wanted just to tell our story, just to let you guys know that there is hope there and that you guys can definitely overcome it. So go ahead and hit subscribe so you can get more videos about our life and about things that are going on. And yes, down there at the bottom. And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.